hard time for us. It's really a hard time for us. Let's admit, I'm a control freak myself also. We exercised with the equipment 5-6 times and still I wasn't secure.
It has got to be perfect what we are doing here, otherwise.
And it's not bad to be a perfectionist, but being a perfectionist has always something to do with a lack of unconditional self-acceptance, I have to learn.
How many little lovely boys I know, my age, who tell themselves in the world, I'm a rationalist. I often say, does your mother know? You act as a rationalist, but you're not. You're a sweet guy, searching for somebody doing that. So why don't you take off your short trousers and put on something as what a man is wearing? You know, you do not use the really qualities you've got about being able to connect and being sweet and soft. Yeah, I'm a rationalist because I'm an engineer, I studied economics, I'm a well-known accountant, I'm a board member of Ernst & Young. They drive me around, I believe that I'm important. Isn't this cute? I mean, it's a laugh.
Okay. This is a nice poem of a Dutch priest. And we have to translate it, of course. So we came up with this. I live 2 lives each day. One the way I must, and one my own way. And when will I find it again in my heart to live my way, the way before the two apart?
Does it make sense? Isn't it funny that everybody when we show this says, yes, this makes sense. So what's going on?
And to share it with you, this poem is, of course, in Dutch sounds a bit different. Is sometimes in our coaching process the starting point, because they are highly intelligent for clients, but their life-work balance is never what they aspire to have. They bring enormous amount of pain on the table, and when you show them this poem, they immediately understand it. It really grew apart.
Can you give us the pleasure of reading it in Dutch?
Yes. Ik leef 2 levens op 1 dag. 1 dat moet en 1 dat mag. Oh, wanneer zal ik weer kunnen leven als toen ik nog geen scheiding zag? That's the Dutch version. Katinga.
We sell the CD there.
Katinga understands it immediately. She is a dear friend of ours also. Welcome on the conference, Katinga. It's your first time on the Wadina. Let's Katinga for time. And I really think that you're going to like this professional community. Okay. Bit of theory. We have to go through it. The organization is like this machine. Maybe attractive when the environment was well organized, predictable, when the organization was functional in some of parts, management almighty, all-knowing, my way or the highway, that type of thinking, themes, order, risk limiting, change, package tour. At that point of time, OD people were also tour guides, or aspired to be tour guides. And invitations, would you be so kind to follow me? That is a pretty classical way of looking at change. Plans change. It was nonsense when we invented it, but it's certainly nonsense now. Because there is no predictable environment anymore.
But we love the illusion. We love the illusion of plans change.
So in reality, an organization is by nature a chaotic organism. If you look to the chart, you don't have a clue what's really happening.
It's like your own life in a way.
It's like your own life. It's chaotic and And sometimes it's wondrous, and then other times you think, oh my God, is this am I in denial or not? Organizational changes are not controllable, but recognizable at the most. It certainly counts for large organizations. I always say banks were too big to fail, and I put it in another way, they are too big to run. It's not human anymore, it's not possible. Great black boxes, that's the reality of organizations.
Then you got a spreadsheet and you think, wow, I'm in control. It's ridiculous.
And all leadership is shared leadership. Of course, there are a few people who have the roles. I would look at leaders as role models, role players. It's not functions. And if it's not good anymore that you have a role, then you make and they give it to another one who is more able to play that role. For example, young and talented people of 30 years of age, young talented women. Why is it necessary to wait till you retire before you give the role to a person who's more suitable for the job? Why? It's just power.
She is only 32. She can do it. Maybe after 15 years. I better find a coach. Do you know somebody my age, 55, 60? Why don't you find somebody of 25, 28, and maybe even she? Oh, that's true.
And anyone who wants to make a difference must dare to take risks. Because without risk, without anxiety, you miss the point. If you really are risk avoiding as an OD professional, you miss the point. You never get the attention of scary little board members. If you're not daring enough, you never get the attention.
Maybe you're longing for a listless life.
So if this is reality, and organizations are a living and learning organism, and it fits in a dynamic and unpredictable surrounding, and processes and relationships are central. Guided autonomy, if there is autonomy, it should guide. There's some guidance, identity, and themes of self-organization and accountability. And I love that phrase of Nordstrom: use your good judgment at all times. And change is an adventurous journey in the direction of collective ambitions. The invitation is, how can we work together to bring this ambition to life? It's a totally other invitation as the classical one. And it's a more daring also. Because first you have to admit that you're out of control, essentially. There is some control on a deeper level, you call it flow or synchronicity or whatsoever. So there is control, but not in the classical way. So that this is important. And that makes it also a scary process. Because you have to rethink, you re-image, to reinvent yourself. That's the depth of where we're standing for. And this is our essential model of this day. If you write a new book, it has something to do with this model. Because form changes. For example, if you want to move your company from one side of the town to another, then it has to do with the structure. Even social skills training, I like to see as a form change. Rules and procedures certainly are form changes. Doing, design, roll out, benchmark, make it happen. This is the classical way we do it. Reach milestones. It's the classical way to do it. Plan change. And we believe in it. We use Prince 2 or have to have that illusion of control. It's the classical way to do it. While essence, for example, cultural change, if you talk about culture, if you talk about essence, something which is deeply embedded in the hearts of people, then you have this kind of dynamics. The human being develop organic growth, realizing uniqueness, let it happen, and you pursue potential. And in order to pursue potential, it's absolutely necessary to look back to your survival mechanisms, to what